Ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue 3, page 30 through 32, Director's Commentary. I'm Kienan Lafferty.
I'm Colton Kresser.
We're going to be talking about some things.
So let's jump right into it. We got a lot of ground to cover today.
A lot of ground to cover, yeah. Let's just go. In fact, I don't know exactly how long these time lapses are going to be, Colton, but it's basically like the last 3 pages.
Yeah.
We usually go for like maybe 10 minutes, so we might be here for like a half an hour. I don't know.
That's cool with me.
Right, you okay with that?
We're good. We're good. So.
Right. But I figured I'd like fill it up with just kind of talking about, obviously the pages. And right now we're starting off with page 30. So you can see it right here. This was the final product.
Final.
But as you know, it doesn't start that way. It starts
from humble beginnings,
like this. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna be taking a little bit of a stroll down memory lane right now.
I know this one. As I'm seeing this one changes a lot from the original layout that we had. Characters.
I've been noticing we've been doing that a lot actually.
But I feel like it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm really okay with it.
I like it too. I mean, kind of something that we did with the last. I think it was actually with the last 10 pages. Where I sat down one day, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like lay out the next 10 pages.
Yep.
Not worrying about layout, not worrying about anything, and just come up with the
placements, like where this needs to go,
what's gonna happen on this page, and then finally when I set it down, now I'm starting to focus on like layouts. Oh, maybe this panel doesn't need to take up half the page. We can kind of make it a little bit smaller.
Usually works out in our benefit because it's like, oh, let's try it this way, and then it just makes the process a lot easier for the next page, or it adds more value to that page, things like that. It's definitely not a bad thing. I think it's great that that happens because we usually come up with better ideas too. It's like, oh man, this idea is so good, and then we come back to it and rework it again. Oh man,
one thing I gotta say is this guy right here. I drew this character and I was like, that guy looks so familiar. Who is that? And I seriously think that looks like one of my old coworkers from Olive Garden.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Did you just draw him like unintentionally?
I just drew him unintentionally, but I was like, that looks like my old coworker from Olive Garden. His name was Corbin, and he had like facial hair exactly like that. And I was like,
that's super fun.
It must have been super memorable because he's just right in the comic.
I always, I mean, I don't like assume that, but I always kind of assume that maybe like there's like whenever you're drawing somewhere and you just kind of pull reference from people, because it's easiest to pull reference from people that you know.
I must be
as opposed to trying to make someone up.
I'm so mentally scarred that like those faces, all the faces of those people I used to work with, they're just like stuck in here forever.
Stuck in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Corbin was pretty cool, so he deserves to be in the comic. I liked him.
That's his
my manager,
claim to fame.
Yeah, my manager, no. My manager would never be seen in this comic.
Claim to fame. So this page was one of our favorites that we were going to work on.
Yeah.
Just because of the Clem yelling. I remember...
And this expression up here. I remember you were taking a look at it and you're like, no, it's got to be more like this. And then you actually did the face. You're like...
Yeah, I was like, no, dude, I can't. I was like, there's something, I don't know. And then I made him pull up the original sketch that he did. I was like, no, like, whatever you captured in this sketch
super old
was
one,
perfect. And so we went back to that one. I was like, no, it's got to be like annoyed,
I think it's right here.
Kind of angry.
Maybe it's here.
The original?
Yeah, the original. Yeah, right there. That's the face you're talking about.
I don't know, like, it's just
right
I think it's just like his offset mouth and like his eyebrows and stuff that just made it so great. And I was just like, oh, that's so good. And then he redrew it.
But yeah,
and I think it was when you redrew it, it was like, no, it was like
this here.
Yeah, it was super like angry. And I was like, I don't think he's not like angry, he's more like annoyed, because everyone's praising
it was
Tank, and he's just like,
it was more of the mouth hanging open. I think that really made it look good.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's what I always talk about, guys. Like, I'm always referring back to these old sketches, like, because even though they're super simple, there's a lot of emotion and like expression that basically gets caught in these. So I'm always going back. And
it was weird when I was telling him because I couldn't explain it. I was like, I can't explain it, but there's something in this original sketch that you did that captures like the emotion perfectly, and so we got to recreate that as best as possible,
Yeah, and we're moving into colors here, so I guess the time lapse probably won't take too long.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. This one, I don't know. Like when we wrote it out, it was really funny. It was like, okay, well, what if? So we're gonna have this, but what if there was like a scene in there where everyone's like, "Whoa, Tank, yeah, whoa," and Clem's trying to get some recognition.
This texture was actually what I was planning on doing at first, but
like all angry. I don't remember.
It was more like zigzaggy,
right.
And then it ended up being more straight. I don't know. It just always looks better when it's like straight lines. Usually, I don't know. I was reading something from like making comics, and it talks
Right.
about like making texture and different shapes in the background. So I figured I'd try it.
Try it at
I was
least,
like,
yeah.
still think I like just the regular starburst. So
I really like the guy that's crowd surfing too. It's like when he mentions Tank, like literally everybody loses their minds. Like everybody just flips out, and they're like, "Oh man, he's so awesome!" You know, like that guy is crowd surfing. And then, I don't remember if we mentioned this in the last one, but the guy that was like, "I know him." That's Plank.
That's Plank, yes.
From earlier in the comic.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, we did. They
bit.
switches out. I just thought like.
And
so
now we
funny.
can actually see Plank here again.
Crowd surfing.
Crowd surfing.
Having a good time. Not watching Emma and Nico.
Yeah. But he's like saying, I still know him.
Yeah, I still know him.
We had that joke for a while.
Yeah.
But I was really happy to finally see it like come to fruition.
We joked about it for like a long time, even before it was drawn down and written. We would joke about it.
It's really funny. I kept asking myself, I was like, is it really like that funny? Dude. Yeah, sure it is. Like, let's put it in.
Sometimes, like, I would think that too. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, is this really funny, or is it just funny to me?
It's just funny because
do I think it's funny?
Yeah.
I'm really glad we did it though.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, it's like that. It's that simple humor, right? It's simple. It's not too crazy. It's not really.
It's not super like slapstick, you know. But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like,
I'm hoping that it's just clever. Clever.
Yeah, I like really clever things. Like if you watch a movie and they make a joke in the beginning and you kind of chuckle, and then they reference that joke later on, it just makes me like lose it. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like stuff like that. But
this background ended up being a lot more kind of detailed
than you planned.
Than I planned.
Right.
This one, as well as the one where he's like down with the spotlight on him and he's like talking into the mic, or he's just like kind of sitting there and everybody's like really quiet.
Yeah, it's all awkward.
I actually ended up just doing it like a solid color, and it just wasn't giving me the exact feeling that I wanted to, right? And I think the reason why was because I wanted to like heighten like the awkwardness of the entire scene by like putting like this whole balcony, right? And just basically like the entire room is just completely silent, like
it's like a sea of people.
Right? Yeah, it's basically just like more people. And so, and then literally Clem's standing on the stage with a spotlight right on him. And it's just like completely silent.
Like
you hear the guy in the background like coughing a little bit, like some cricket chirp or something like that. So
what's funny too is whenever we start a page, it's usually like Keenan's like, man, dude, I'm so excited for this page, especially because like this one's gonna be easy because it's just like a flat color and this and this and this. And then
I think backgrounds.
I
always dread backgrounds.
I think he just gets into the zone sometimes though, and he just like. Which is great, because they always come out awesome, but it's just like, you just get in the zone where it's just like, ooh, maybe I could try this and this and this and this and this, and then it just turns out great, you know?
Yeah. I'm starting to enjoy doing more of the backgrounds and stuff like that now. Especially since I always say it, like, the gradient maps just make everything super easy, and I feel like I'm cheating every time I do it, but I don't really care. Cause
the only person you're cheating is yourself, so there you go.
Exactly. Nobody cares, you know, how I make the background as long as it looks good.
Yeah, as long as it looks good, so he's only cheating himself. So. Yeah. This page was cool too because it's like there's not many panels. I mean, there's 5.
No, there's about 6.
Yeah,
no, there was 7.
Yeah, there was 7. I was gonna say there's
7's about the usual. Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
For some reason I just wanted to say like it feels really full, and I really like that too. It's like
I liked it as well.
You know, it's got a lot of panels, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of energy coming off of those pages too, and there's plenty of like text going on everywhere, and it's a really full. Really full page. I was really stoked on it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So
now we're getting into page 31, which is pretty fun.
This one was more recent.
Yeah, this is, obviously. But yeah, it's more recent. I was actually like excited to. It's funny. I go one page without drawing Emma and Nico, and I'm like, oh, I want to draw them so bad.
Yeah,
like, I miss them.
Oh, yeah, like after you draw like Clem and stuff. And
yeah, it was fun. Like, yeah. My biggest concern was like whenever I draw pages without the main characters in them, I'm always afraid that it's gonna look like out of place or it's gonna feel weird. But I didn't really feel that with Clem. I felt like he belonged in the comic really well.
He's an important character.
Yeah, I just felt like style wise, it felt like you can look at the comic without seeing Emma and you can know that it's from this universe and from this comic, which is good, right? So
this little panel right here, we were gonna do something with this panel, but we didn't get to do it because
what were we gonna do?
The love awards. We didn't freaking win.
Yeah, we wanted to win Russ Manning.
Yeah, we wanted to win.
We didn't get nominated.
Russ Manning, but we didn't get nominated. But we did. Day. We actually looked up the winner today. Oh man,
the guy that won was really talented.
Yeah, he was really good, and his comic looked pretty cool.
Different
too.
style. Yeah. I'm betting like they didn't like the anime style. Like they're American artists, right? They're doing Comic-Con.
Right.
They're looking at this and be like, there's no cross hatching. There's no texture.
And it's not. Yeah, it's not. There's no awesome texture.
There's no texture.
There's no.
There's Australian judges living in America.
Yeah, it wasn't
visiting.
pencil. It wasn't really pencil. This guy, he did like his was like line, pencil, everything. But
it was Sabretooth cool. Warrior. I think.
Sabretooth.
You guys should Google
Warrior,
it.
yeah.
Check it out. Like the art is really well done. So he was actually the winner of the contest.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
And I did not have a problem at all with it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we were like, let's see who the winner is, and we saw it. And we were like, actually, this is really good.
Yeah. At first we were like,
yeah.
This guy thinks he's. Actually, that's pretty good.
And then we like looked it up, and I was like, this is really okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So that was cool.
I was happy about that.
That was cool. But we were gonna have that little panel of them like clapping and have Emma be like, "Oh, I love awards," saying like, "Oh, we got at least nominated," but it's whatever.
Yeah, it's okay.
Soon enough, they'll regret it. They'll be like,
special
"Man,
to me, special to me."
Yeah. But this one was another one we were looking forward to, especially for the ending.
Yeah.
Of it.
This was actually suggested to me by our good friend Ed Derian, right? Who was actually, he had me on his podcast back when he was doing the League of Legends. I think it was called Beyond the Meta.
Beyond the Meta, yep.
Yeah, he had me on the show. And since then, we've continued talking, and he gave me some ideas for the comic. One of them being, just this idea of this giant pile of treasure, and then on top of it being somebody.
I'm trying to think. Like, I think we planned for like the story to go to this part with the loot and with the party.
Yeah,
but I don't think we planned for the giant mountain of treasure. Like, I don't even remember what we were planning. I don't even think it was in there.
I remember we wanted buttons to be in it, right?
Yeah.
But then I think
no. The original plan was that it was going to be a bunch of scenes of Emma and Nico going through the party, like on a cart and like playing darts and stuff.
Yeah, like
that was the original plan. Is going to be like,
I like what we ended up with though.
Yeah, it was going to be them like hanging out and stuff, and then
gets right to the meat and potatoes. Emma falling into Nico's arms.
Yeah. And
gazing longingly into his eyes.
Super cute and stuff.
Yeah. I loved illustrating these scenes, dude. Like, this is easily the funnest pages that I've done in the comic so far.
I think it was cool because it shows that Emma's really starting to trust Nico as happy.
Right.
Because it's like even though
she's really trusting normally.
Well, I was gonna say she's pretty trusting normally, but it's like I don't even though she's happy, she's not gonna be like, oh, you're my best friend. Like there's still that like trust that has to kind of be built, which is cool. It shows them like growing, and then it shows more of like Clem. He's not just a biker; he's really enthusiastic.
Tell me right now, what does that look like to you? That was gonna be the original statue that I was gonna put back there.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like? To me, it looks like Buddha mixed with Timo.
I can see that. I was gonna say first thing that came to my mind was El Dorado with all the treasure. So I just imagine like an old like Aztec like big old.
I had a bunch of ideas. Like you said, or originally it was your idea to have a big statue back there.
Yeah, I want to do the Statue of Liberty, but Emma's not in our universe, Earth. So it's like that might not be a thing.
It's at Earth. But it's not our Earth.
Yeah. So I was like, you should put a big old Statue of Liberty. And he was like, I don't know about the Statue of Liberty, but I do like the statue idea. So we were trying to...
Yeah, I was literally sitting down for so long trying to figure out what to make the statue. I even made it like an Easter Island head. I was thinking about it, like a golden Easter Island head. But then I had the idea to make it a rhino.
You can't tell them what it's from because I don't think they've guessed yet.
Okay, yeah, I won't tell you what it's from. But yeah, golden rhino.
Golden Rhino,
you guys get it?
Good childhood memory.
Yeah, we decided to put a bunch of different.
We made like a big old list too. We were like, oh, we got to put a gold thing, gold this, gold that. Gold
if you guys know what that is right there, hats off to you. That's pretty cryptic. But
so we had
there's a few things that are
the holy hand. We had holy hand grenade, and then he put the flagpole in there for me. He was like, hey, I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
I got
Merca.
you.
Merca, there you go.
Got your Merca.
And
we had the treasure.
Oh,
we had treasure.
Shoot, dude.
What?
It pulled up something I was working on for Riot.
What?
We might have to censor it again.
Go back. I can censor it. Oh, don't go back. Just keep going.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, we're gonna...
Secrets!
Oh, shoot.
I'm not starting over.
I know, I'm not starting over either. Okay, so we gotta remember when it was. I was afraid of something like that happening.
Whatever.
I was like, okay.
Here's a marker.
Anything can pop up. Anything can pop up. But if it's something I'm working on for Riot.
That's my email address.
That's my email address.
Oh, no, it was your phone number. It was your phone number.
Yeah, it was my phone
number. It wasn't your email address,
yeah.
it was your phone number.
Okay, so this happened right before page 31. 31 goes to color. 31 goes to color. So anyways, here on the K and Kale Director's Commentary, you're going to see all kinds of things.
We stay professional.
Sometimes the time-lapse catches things you're not supposed to see. But luckily, we can go in and censor.
I think it's going to be funny, too, because it's going to drive him crazy. Like, what is it? Because I'm going to
like,
cover it up.
It was like, it's probably just some porn. You know? No, it was something else I was working on.
Yeah, what? Kienan likes to make this joke where... if he like says something's really dumb and then I like catch him looking at it, I'll be like, dude, Vic, that video game looks so dumb. Then he'll be like looking at it. And if I like walk in on him like looking up this video game, he's like, no, I was watching porn.
I was watching porn.
Yeah, no, it's really funny.
Yeah, like you switch the window from whatever you're looking at to porn. You're walking out. Oh, sorry, dude.
No, sorry, bro. You know, he's not looking at the video game. He just told me it was really stupid.
And then he goes out and they switch it back to
the video game.
Yeah,
it's super funny. But also with buttons being on top of the treasure, we also had this idea. We were like, what if it just looks like buttons, but when the light shines on it, it's just like a bucket.
It's like a bucket and a
trash
mop or something.
And some trash and like a banana and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, would that be funny? I don't remember what you said. You were like, oh, we're like teasing him or something like that. Or trolling.
It'd be trolling.
Yeah.
It'd be trolling if we did that.
Like we did the biggest trolls. I was like,
yeah, that would be really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important that it is buttons, as we're going to find out
for later on
in issue 4. But we can't talk too much about that.
I'm trying to think.
What?
Because I want to like. Okay, never mind. It's blatantly obvious. It's not giving anything away. So
sure, yeah.
What's really cool is that the treasure in this is like gold coins and statues, you know, and just like the Holy Grail cup,
treasure,
pearls and treasure chests. But in reality, it's just a bunch of trash. It's just like,
it's just kind of like a bunch of junk.
Yeah, a bunch of junk. But it's like it's stuff that they could use. You know, it's not complete. It's not like garbage.
I'd imagine. It's just like. It's just stuff that they've taken from houses. Mm-hmm. So it's
so like
some of it would be junk, but
I'm
some
sure
other
there's probably
things
like
are
food,
like electronics,
food, shoes, electronics,
video game systems, you know.
Because they have power on the ship, so they got like video games, things like that. Just stuff they collect that they think people might go for. I imagine that like after the ceremony, it's probably like, hey, all right, go ahead and make your way up here and take what you need or take what you want. Stuff
yeah,
like
right.
That.
I just figure they have like different areas of the. I figure they just furnish different rooms of the.
Yeah, that'd be really good. They have like different rooms where it's like a hangout.
There's like a game room. They got like a pinball machine. In
there.
Yeah.
For sure.
They got like some couches. They go put them in. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta
lounge area.
You gotta have something to do. I mean,
exactly.
You want to tell them about? We talked about this earlier. I was like, dude, this foreground treasure was really awesome. You want to tell them how that came about?
Oh yeah. We're moving on to number 32.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that foreground treasure ended up being there because I just kind of like mistakenly put a line there. Or I think I saw something in the original sketch that looked like it.
Right.
And I don't know, I felt like it added a lot to the final piece. Like,
I think it really did.
I'll just pull it up. Because it just gives you that real sense of depth in the final thing here. Just like the gem and all that stuff. And I don't know. It's just funny how sometimes things can come by accident. Happy accidents. I mean,
right.
I hate the term. I hate it when people say happy accidents because it just sounds like really like lame.
Sounds like it's just a happy accident.
But it was a happy accident. Like, all right, fine. They exist. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like a prideful thing to be like, I don't rely on accidents. I do everything on purpose. Right? And then I do something. I'm like, oh, that was kind of like a happy accident. No. I totally meant to do that.
Yeah.
I totally meant to do that. Right?
I think
subconsciously.
Before, you're like, oh, I totally meant to do that. And I was like, you did? And you're like, no, absolutely not.
Although I tried out a new custom brush here.
I saw that.
Coins.
That looked really cool.
Was
it a coin brush?
No, it was just kind of like a brush that I had laying around. It just had like little circles in it. And what was cool is, I didn't actually need a lot of it because I tried in the very beginning, just overflowing it. See, I was like, oh, okay, that's way too much.
Yeah.
Right, but here
it's like cancer.
Yeah, it's like really simple, and you really only need a couple of them because just kind of relying on that old technique, like in the cartoons, where you don't have to draw millions of coins.
You just put a few in there.
Just draw like the shape that the treasure makes, and then draw a few coins, like a couple things of it, and then your brain just fills in the rest of it.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was Ed, Ed and Eddie. I just think Ed and Eddie does a lot of stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, And thank heaven I know about that trick, because I would have lost my mind.
Drawing
hundreds of thousands
coins
of
and coins and coins.
And it would have looked weird too.
Mm-hmm.
It would have looked weird next to buttons being so like clean.
Simple and
yeah,
plain.
simple, clean, streamlined and all that. So you also have to consider how to, streamline your treasure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was actually referencing Aladdin as well. Like when he goes into the big lion head, just the piles
So
of
awesome.
gold. It's actually really cool. It's a similar color scheme where it's like the gold and then the background's red.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that looks really, really nice.
Like a nice red.
And I have
thing.
the red curtains and stuff. So it's
And you have the genie lamp in there too on the pile of treasure.
yeah. I hid the genie lamp in the previous page. So yeah, if you guys can find that, then my hats go off to you. So
Kudos. You don't win anything.
you get kudos. I will send you kudos bar. You know, the
Kudos
chocolate bar. I will send you that. All right. So actually, that wasn't too bad. We're already done, and you only needed to censor that one little thing. Notice how I said you?
Because Keenan has this thing where I say we. I'm always like, hey. I
don't even try to hide it.
Wait. I don't remember how I said it. I'll be like, do you want to go get some sodas? But I don't say do you. I was like,
you're like, oh, dude, we should go get some sodas.
yeah, I was like, we should go get some sodas. And he like looks at me like, we, because he knows it's his turn to buy the sodas. He's
yeah,
like,
I bet
we.
you want to go get some sodas. Let's go get some sodas, dude.
Let's go get some sodas, man. We.
Yeah, I want some sodas. Although
We don't have any. Macy's is closed this Sunday.
all right, we can hold out one day.
Yeah, I can hold out.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So I mean, was there anything you wanted to say to wrap it up?
Not much. It's just these. I think these pages came together a lot better than we thought.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, let's just plan out these pages, okay? And then it was, hey, page is done. And I was like, oh, it wasn't really a lot of back and forth. It was already done.
I really like. I like the process that I used on these last 10, and I think I'm going to be doing that on the next 10 as well.
Mm.
But one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit was just the very beginning of the comic and just how it feels to be at the end of issue 3. I remember when I first started this, I was like, oh man, I'm just getting started on this. I wonder what it's going to be like when I got 3 issues done.
Yeah.
And now we are standing on that day, right? That day is here now. And it's a really interesting feeling.
It was cool because one of the things that I think about is it's like, man, I remember a year ago when I started working on this, and I was like, we were talking, throwing around ideas. I was like, I cannot wait till we get to that page. And then that page shows up, and then it's gone. And that's it. And then it's like,
and then we're setting our sights on the next one.
Yeah, it's like, dang, like that's it. Like there's this page that I'm so stoked for that's pretty far. It's really far. And it's one of those things where I feel like it's just gonna, as soon as it gets here, I'm like, oh man, I've been waiting for this page. And then it's gonna be out and over, and that's it. And then I'm gonna want to work on the next one. So I think that's a really
we got some scenes coming up in issue 4 that I'm really excited for, because
me too.
We're gonna start introducing a little bit more. I don't know. I guess you could say drama. A little bit more drama. Up till now, it's been very whimsical, kind of lighthearted. Now we're gonna start kind of getting into a slightly darker side of the comic.
I think it's perfect for all the people that were like, man, I feel like the comic's kind of slow. Like, not that it's bad, it's just it's kind of slow. Like,
like what's happening? Right. Where are the characters going? Like Emma just seems like she's kind of in this la la land. There's no real plot, destination.
Yeah. But that's exactly what we.
And I've thought about that.
We wanted. It's just it's that character development. You can't. So one thing we talked about is we hate movies or books where it's just like, oh, here's the character. This is what they do, and they're on their way.
Like Transformers.
Yeah, like Transformers.
We just saw
Transformers 4 was the worst.
We didn't like Transformers.
It was. I liked Transformers. The first one was great. I loved it. But the second one was really okay. Yeah. The third one, I was like, I could dig it.
Yeah. We could probably go on a whole tangent on this.
But I'm not going to go off.
But let's keep it simple. Yeah. Let's keep it simple. Like, basically, why we didn't like it was because the characters were not developed at all. And, like,
there's too many.
People are dying, and it's like, you don't care. It was like, you never even knew the character. And, in fact, you're almost, like, relieved when they die. Because, like, okay, I didn't really like that guy anyway. And that's not good.
There's a character that spends 20 years with this family, and they got this major connection, but he dies and you don't even care. And another thing that's annoying is there's just so many. It's like, the movie is like, let's say the movie's an hour long. 25 minutes of it is one character, 25 is another, 25 is another, and then the last 25 is like all of them together. And it doesn't make any sense, and there's no character development, you don't really care, and you just kind of want the movie to be over.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I was getting bored. So what we're trying to do with the comic is
establish bonds.
If anything, like, if the mistake that we want to make, if it is going to be a mistake, is to at least like almost spend too much time with the character. Like really introduce them, really get into their head, And Emma basically has like 2 characters because she's crazy and she's double personality. So I really want people to understand, what that is, and then we can take them to the other side.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think it's nice too that we're spending a lot of time, because some of the stuff that's coming up next, it's going to happen really quickly.
Yeah.
It's
exactly. When the crap hits the fan, you'll know these characters.
It's gonna
you'll relate to them.
and it's gonna take a left turn. It's gonna be like you would expect to see those characters do those things or act a certain way when something bad does happen, because you know them, instead of like, oh well, I don't know, I would have.
Why did they do that?
Yeah, I would have done it this way.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So I think this is great as far as character development. Getting to know each other. That way, there's like a real bond. If anything did happen to any of the characters, I think you'd be like, like, oh man, dude, that totally sucks. I really liked that character, instead of being like, whatever, like,
For me, I feel like I'm really attached to the characters, but it's probably just because, not only have I spent a lot of time with them, but I don't know. I really enjoyed doing the comic, dude. I've enjoyed doing these last 3 issues, and I'm not gonna stop until it's done, dude. Like, I just know it.
I'm so excited.
Within myself. So
especially the next part. Not that the comic's now good now, because it's great, but it's just there's so much stuff that we're just like it's literally like since last year we were like, oh man, can't wait, and now it's here, and like it's like, oh
yeah. So. Issue 4 is coming. So we're excited about that. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on YouTube as usual.
So much.
Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. My name's Kienan Lafferty.
My name's Colin Kresser.
See you guys next time.